What's going on, everyone? Alex Miller from the Eagle, live from the Kyle Field press box, following Texas A&M's 41-24 loss to the Florida Gators this afternoon. Simply put, the Aggies were undermanned and they underwhelmed all around, especially in that second half, which all culminated with a 17-point loss to Florida.
Yeah, I was going to say, is they didn't underwhelm in the first half. It was definitely the second half. It's been a while since I've seen an A&M team so depleted for a lot of reasons. Once again, that's not excuses. And under normal circumstances, just take the game by itself. You'd say how great they played, the spirit or whatever, but they've lost 4 straight. So this just adds to the misery.
Yeah, I think that everything that Jimbo Fisher has said to kind of keep the morale high as they've been one play away. They were not anywhere close to one play away in this game, and things just kind of spiraled. For me, it was getting away from the run. Devon Achane had over 100 yards in the first half on 10 carries. He did end up getting 6 in the second half, but they weren't. They never used it to establish the run. They were pass first and then try to get him off balance with the run, whereas in the first half, they were establishing the run to set up the pass. I know A-Chain, like Jimbo Fisher said, was dealing with the illness this week, and it seemed like he wasn't necessarily 100%. But that being said, either if it's A-Chain or you have to have another running back to establish that run to set up the pass.
Yeah, the Aggies, of course, dealing with, already a ton of injuries coming into the game. Had a flu outbreak among the team this week. Connor Wegman unavailable. That gave way to Haynes King. In the first half, King wasn't too bad, but then in the second half just was not able to make some of those contested throws and move the chains on third and longs.
Yeah, getting back to what Travis said, it's really like the second half. They came out a different team. They didn't call well. They didn't block well. Getting back to those 2 possessions, because I went back and double-checked. The first one, it was pass, run a chain, pass, and the second it was 2 bad runs by a chain, then the third down pass. They never got into any flow. We always talk about the flow, and it just looked like the line wasn't crisp. Obviously, the play wasn't called, and then suddenly Florida had the lead, and really the game was over. They were stuck on 24. It seemed like forever because they were stuck on 24. And after the first half, I thought, wow, even with all the things you could say bad, I go, they're playing really good. Not in the second half.
Yeah, I just think that the game wore on them. The game, the years worn on them. The week has worn on them with how much they've had to deal with injuries and the illness this week. Of course, Connor Wegman missed, so Haynes King had to step in. The illness. Between illness, injuries, and suspensions, at minimum 31 players out this of the game. So that's going to set you back to begin. We don't really know how many of those guys were in and out of practice. It just seemed like a team that had enough energy for first half and then ran out of gas in the second half too.
Go ahead.
Yeah, because you don't know. Watching King, I had the glasses on him a lot. I just don't think the guy's 100%. I kind of feel for the guy because he's got to be out there. He might have been 60, 70. I don't want to make an excuse. And some of those receivers, even at Chain, were they totally 100%, because of the flu, whatever? Could they have been an 80, 90%? I hate to judge people, but it just looked like they were a beat team in the second half. They looked good in the first half, but I thought they looked beat in the second half.
We noted about A-Chain not being 100%. It certainly looked like Haynes was not 100% either. We knew about the foot. We knew he left the game against South Carolina with the shoulder, didn't play last week, didn't even throw in warm-ups. What was interesting, though, was that on a couple of the times that he could have run, he elected to throw the check down, did not pass. After the game, Jimbo Fisher said he does not discourage his quarterbacks from running.
He might have discouraged the running backs from running today. I don't know.
Wow.
Either way, it was a little odd, honestly, to see Haynes, kind of force those checkdowns when in the past it was a no-brainer he was going to run, and that was one of the strengths that he had as a quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, you and me were standing in the tunnel after the game when the players were going up. First off, I mean, even in losses, there's people who are talking. There's guys who are mad and yelling. I've seen guys hit their helmet against the – it was silent. Not a single guy talking all the way up. But I watched as Haynes King walked up, still had his helmet on, and the guy was limping. I mean, the guy was not walking with a normal gait whatsoever. You got to think he's hurt. You got to think that his ability to run the ball to turn the corner. It wasn't going to be there, whether it be that he knew he wasn't going to be able to get the yardage, or just that mental block of, I've gotten banged up so many times this season. I'm one run away from Eli Stowers having to come in, and play this game. I got to protect myself. I don't know. We're not in his head, but it looked like could be some kind of combination of that.
Either way, this is the 5th straight loss for A&M. First time since 1980 the Aggies have had 5 straight regular season losses. Cease, it just kind of adds to the growing list of not good marks that the Aggies have had this season.
I think Travis touched on when you guys can see that they were quiet. That's one advantage. I stayed up, you guys go down, because there's nothing you can take positive out of this. I get it. They played hard and you can do this, but they lost. I mean, they're home. They lost back-to-back home games. Everybody said, they get home, get through this tough road. They've come home. They've lost 2 games in a row. That was a better crowd than I thought. I put the over and under at 90. It was 97 for an 11 a.m. game. Great crowd last week. They go home both times disappointed. Everybody's disappointed. It's not even great for the media when you cover nobody wins. And I just think, man, it's a tough Saturday.
Well, a couple of housekeeping things, too. Jimbo Fisher said Fadil Diggs and Deuce Harmon are both out for the year with injuries. Yul Keith Brown will be out for a while, he said, and he said it's not injury related. There was the 6 guys that were out because of illness that you think they did get back, but Antonio Johnson didn't play today. Just so many guys injured, but those are some of the guys that we heard about, got some definitive answers about on the injury front.
Well, A&M now at 3-6 on the season. 1-5 in conference play. They got to win out to go to a bowl game, and a road game against Auburn. And you're gonna have to play an LSU team that just keeps getting better as the year goes on to close the season. Well, I'd say the Aggies are probably favored against UMass, but nothing's given as far as that goes. As A&M's trying to close this out with 3 straight wins.
I just think this was a huge loss because I think mentally everybody thought they'd win one of these 2 games at home. To carry a 5-game losing streak, I don't care who they're playing because they're going to continue to get people hurt. I mean, they're down to, like you guys said, 30-some scholarship players. This is the Gator Bowl all over last year. This is what the Gator Bowl would have looked like with a lot less people. So you can see how bad that was in the second half. First half was they surprised me. I go, wow, this team's going to win because Florida is not that good. And that's the tough thing because Florida did some stupid things. They should have scored 50 points. They coached themselves, but it's just bad right now for the Aggie football program.
What they say with the Gator Bowl, they had to pull out of the Gator Bowl because of an abundance of caution due to COVID. There wasn't an abundance of anything really going well for the Aggies today.
All right, I think that's going to do it for us. Be sure to check theeagle.com for all of our coverage from A&M's loss to Florida today, and we'll be back next week as the Aggies gear up to go face Auburn on the road.